The rain was pouring that night in October 2018, the kind of rain that feels personal, like the sky is mad at you specifically. I was sitting in my car outside the apartment I'd just been locked out of, engine off, wipers off, just watching the water stream down the windshield. My phone had 3% battery and one new message from my girlfriend of 4 years. "I can't do this anymore, I'm sorry." I didn't cry right away. I just stared at the words until the screen went black. Then I drove to the only place still open, the 24-hour gym I'd been paying $19.99 a month for and had used maybe 6 times that year. I swiped my key tag with shaking hands, numb fingers, walked straight to the treadmill and started running. Not jogging, running, like something was chasing me. I ran until I threw up in the trash can by the water fountain. The night janitor, an old guy named Mr. Raymond, handed me a paper towel without saying a word. That was the night one. The next morning I woke up on my buddy's couch with the worst hangover of my life, except I hadn't had a single drink, just heartbreak and humiliation. I opened my phone, now charged, and saw the gym check-in from the night before. 2:14 a.m., 4.8 miles. Something in me said, go again tonight, same time, just show up. So I did. Night 2, 3 miles, crying the whole time. Night 3, 3.5 miles, still crying but slower tears. Night 4, 4 miles, tears stopped somewhere around mile 2. I didn't have a plan. I wasn't trying to get shredded or prove anything to her or become one of those transformation guys on Instagram. I just knew that if I stayed home, I'd sit in the dark and replay every fight, every mistake, every moment I wasn't enough. The treadmill felt like the only place the thoughts couldn't keep up. By the end of week 2, Mr. Raymond started nodding at me when I walked in. Week 4, he left a bottle of water on the treadmill I always used. Month 2, he said, "You know we open at 5 a.m., right? You don't gotta wait till the world's asleep." I laughed for the first time in weeks. I kept the 2 a.m. time anyway. It was mine. 6 months in, I looked different. Not magazine different, just less like someone who'd given up. My shirts fit weird because my shoulders were broader. Face was sharper. People at work asked if I was okay in that careful way people ask when you suddenly look alive again. I just said, yeah, I've been running. But the real change wasn't the body. It was that for the first time in my adult life, I had proof I could do something hard every single day, even when I hated it, even when I was tired, even when no one was watching, even when my heart was in pieces on the floor. Year 1, I ran my first half marathon, finished dead last in my age group and cried at the finish line like I'd won the Olympics. Year 2, I signed up for a full marathon, trained through a brutal winter, through a new breakup, shorter, less painful, but still, through 2 job changes. I showed up at 2 a.m. when the sidewalks were ice and the gym was empty except for Mr. Raymond mobbing in slow circles. The morning of the marathon, I stood at the starting line with 30,000 people and realized I wasn't scared, not of the distance anyway. I'd already run farther than 26.2 miles on just one quiet, lonely mile at a time, added up over 1,000 nights when quitting would have been easier. I crossed the finish line in 3 hours and 58 minutes, not fast, but I didn't walk once. Mr. Raymond was there. He'd taken the bus downtown just to watch. He handed me a bottle of water and said, "Told you 5 a.m. was better." We laughed until I cried again. That was 2019. Today it's 2025. I still go to that same gym, not at 2 a.m. anymore. Life's different now. I coach a little running group on Saturdays. I've got a woman who loves me even on the days I'm difficult. I write on the side and my first book comes out next spring. None of it is perfect. I still have nights when the old sadness sneaks in like an uninvited guest. But here's what I know now. The thing I wish someone had shaken 28-year-old me in that rainy car and told him, you don't need motivation every day. You don't need to feel strong. You don't need a big dream or a 5-year plan or a revenge body. You just need to do the thing today, and then tomorrow do it again, even when it's small, even when it's boring, even when no one claps. Because consistency isn't sexy. It's not a montage with epic music. It's you in the treadmill at 2 a.m. when the rest of the world is asleep and your heart is shattered. It's showing up when you're broken and letting the showing up slowly, quietly put you back together. 1 mile becomes 1,000. One night becomes a life. And somewhere along the way, you look up and realize the thing that almost killed you is the thing that taught you. You were always stronger than you thought. Just had to prove it to yourself, one consistent step at a time.